Hey Perry, how you doing, sir? Tim, how's it going? Welcome in. Whitland and Army guy, nice. Dan, what's going on? Welcome in. Get my get the old safety glasses on here, and we'll get this rocking and rolling. Now this is I have no idea what this wood is. I found this on the base. This is what it looks like. It's got a weird dual pith to it, but I have no idea. It's very wet. It fell down recently. See how much speed we can get here. Around 700. Oh wow. Yeah, it's very wet. And very soft too. I don't know what this is. Had same tree sycamore. Oh, cool. Not used to turning going this easy. Hey Plywood, how's it going? Pilato, welcome in. Get you guys a better view here. We'll come up this way. Hopefully you guys can see. Oh, this gooseneck. Johnny, welcome in. How you doing, sir? That was a very cool pen you did earlier. All right, it's going to be just a little bit here till we get this guy fully round. There we go. All right, we're almost there. The sides are going to be too low though, so we're going to have to narrow this guy up a bit. There we go. Thought I saw a little vibration in there. A little chunk of it just went flying. Roger, welcome in. Hey, Matthew, you made it in? Wow, that thing is soaking wet. I might be trying to turn this one too soon. But we're going to keep going for it. You guys can't. Puppet Master, what's going on? All right, I'm going to flatten off the bottom here next. There we go. And a little bounce. He's really fighting me right there. And so I almost think if I squeezed that, we'd get drops out of it. It's so wet. Probably, yeah, it's dulling out my tool real fast. That's what's going on. But that's all right. We'll keep working at it. All right. I think we are going to go ahead and get a recess on there. Do the recess, I do use the carbides. Find that the easiest way to do it. Good old easy wood. Get set at center. As much speed as we can, because the carbides do like speed. Grab our skew to put the dovetail in. There we go. This looks like it's starting to come loose again. Not surprising with how wet it is. Now this one, once we get it turned down, they tend to dry out pretty darn quick. Oh yeah. So you guys, wormwood screws, what was holding it? All right. You're gonna kind of stay right over here. Hang 'em on, mama. How you doing? Jose, what's going on? Thanks for coming in. Bear, how you doing, sir? Thanks for coming in. Let's see here. Zoom out a little bit. So this isn't going to be a hollow form, but we are going to close over the sides a little bit. Yeah, this is the first time I've ever gotten spritzed while turning. You can see how wet that is. Hey, Robert, welcome in. I'm also cutting way high right now. Linda, this is wood I found on the ground while hunting on base for some wood chunks. A couple of guys in the chat think it's sycamore. Bailey Woodworks, what's going on? Michael, welcome in. We're making a bowl. This is going to be a twice turn bowl because it is soaking wet. So we won't be able to finish this. This is going to warp like crazy as it dries. Just going to blend that together and to give you guys an idea of what I'm kind of going for. Hopefully I'm going to be able to hollow this down. I got some more. God, that is just so wet. We'll swing you over here, get you a good view. We'll get this started on the process. Me and this gooseneck do not get along. That, yep. So there was another person in the chat, I think our last live, that called it, I really like the acronym he used. He called it FOGWOOD, F-O-G, for found on ground. I got a kick out of that one. Get a flashlight set up so you guys can see better. There you go. Yeah, I got a kick. I might think Mike Stanifer came up with that. I thought that was hilarious. Wow, that's amazing to me. Pinch it together and it just kind of stays. I've only had this in the shop. I think I got it last weekend or over the weekend. So I live near an Air Force base. For those of you who don't know, I'm retired Navy, but I live near an Air Force base, and the Air Force base does, of course, have a golf course. It's the second thing they build after the bowling alley. So when trees come down on the golf course, I found where they drag them off to. Whoa, whoa, whoa! Careful. There we go. So now I know where the local honey hole is. After every, why am I getting? It's got, oh wow. Okay, it is pouring outside, and some of it sprinkled right through my little air conditioner. All right, let's see how we're doing here. We got quite a ways to go. I don't know if that bark's gonna stay on there or not. No. That answers that question. So we can widen out the hole a bit. All right, let's see where we're at. Like I said, I'm going to leave this one fairly thick because I know it is going to move quite a bit as it dries. And it doesn't need to be that thick though. Here about. Yeah, we can go down quite a bit more before we got to start worrying about that. All right, we still got quite a bit of thickness there for our inside. That is now closing in on 1.5 inches. Go a little further down. I'll pick that up some other time. As far as that edge, I don't know if you guys can see it or not. Yeah, you'll see it when we take it off the lathe. It likes to crack when it dries out. Have cracked on me. Yeah, I've had a few of my blanks crack as they've dried. So if it does, well, it was free. So there we go. That's feeling pretty good. That's feeling pretty decent as well. I think we're going to leave that one there. Swing you guys up over here. We'll get a look at it. I don't think that turned out too bad. So we'll set that one off to the side to dry. And oh, where did my example go? Actually, we can use this one as an example. So this is one we turned, I'd say about 5 days ago. Has that giant bark inclusion. He's still drying right now. You can probably see that he is no longer round. And that's just after 1 week of drying. This is another piece of mystery wood. I think that's one. I think that one I got from a neighbor. He took a tree down, so it most likely would be elm. That was our guess. This isn't my good example. Put him back over there. Where did I put that guy? There, put him up there. I got bowls everywhere right now. All sorts of different ones. Yeah. So this one has been drying now for about 2 weeks. And he started out perfectly flat. He is not perfectly flat anymore. And I think you can see how much he's warped in just a couple weeks. So we do the initial turn, we leave them fairly thick, and that allows them to move and do all their crazy stuff. And then once they're dry, we come back in, turn them again, and they're perfect. And we just got to hope they don't crack along the way. So for those of you who were in here 2 lives ago, this one here started out as a small crack, and then as it has dried, it has widened out significantly. And we had another crack show up right there, so this one's going to end up going in the trash. But it happens. So what shall we turn next? I've got... This is another piece that I got off the base. This has been laying on the ground a bit longer. This one's got some nice colors to it. I think this one is locust. That is my guess on what it might be. Again, it was fogwood, so found on ground. Oh, yep. Thanks, Perry. Yep. If you guys are enjoying this, go ahead, hit the like button, do the YouTube stuff. I'm often out here late at night turning. So if you do enjoy this, you can consider subscribing, and maybe we'll see you again. Get my worm screw back in there. Now, locust wood is significantly harder. After you turn wet wood, you always have trouble moving the banjo around. Oh, you guys can't see that. Get you guys in a better spot. Heading to bed. All right, Bear, you have a good one, sir. Thanks for stopping in. There we go. Now this one is probably going to be much harder to turn. Like I said, locust is a very hard wood. Whoop. There we go. Back for our 1/2 inch. See how much of an edge we got left here. Yeah, significantly harder than that sycamore was. And it's going to make a bunch of noise till we get through this. So we can get more speed out of it. Hey, we're up to 940. Yuli, welcome in. Alda, welcome in. Robert Steele, how's it going, sir? Welcome in. Got to work in the morning. All right, Perry, you have a good one, sir. Do an epoxy fix on the cracked bowl? Maybe. Spec vet? Uh, the hardness of the wood kind of determines that, bud. So if you were in here for the wet wood, that turned a lot faster than this locust does. Getting into the I can do this with metal. Well, congratulations, man. That's getting noisy because of this section right here. I mean, if you're running a metal lathe, you're probably running a much more powerful lathe as well. All right, we're going to switch over to our 3/8. So that kind of shows the previous piece of wood we were working on, as wet as it was, did did dull out my gouge. We're gonna get this thing round yet. That's just a sharp tool, but it's a 3/8 gouge, so it can't take off as much material. All right. So you guys still can see everything all right? Grumpy, how you doing, sir? Welcome in. I have no idea how to pronounce that name. Starts with an H, but welcome in. All right. Francisco, welcome in. If I had more normal lives like these all the time. Well, we're having fun. All right. I think we're going to go ahead and start flattening off the bottom here. There we go. Switch over to our carbide. We'll put a recess in there. Mike, welcome in. What is that? Bruca, welcome in. Okay. There we go. We're going to use our carbide, set our recess. And grab our skew to set the dovetail. There we are. All right. Now we'll get our outside finished up, and then we'll get her reversed. Almost all the way. There we go. Anna, welcome in. You better like a tenon or mortise recess, Todd, and why? I alternate back and forth. I put a tenon on that one, I put a recess on that one. It's just kind of whatever I'm feeling at the moment. Um, I often will use recesses. I think I use them probably more often than the tenon because there's nothing to clean up at the end. Once I reverse it, finish the inside, it's done. It's a decent surface. Probably should have sharpened my tool up a little. Yeah, probably should have sharpened the tool up for that final pass. But we'll make do. Wormwood screw again. That is my preferred way to start out. Oh, I didn't make my recess big enough. We're going to have to expand that out a touch. So bear with just a second. We'll get that widened out and then get her flipped around. There we go. Damn, those things are sharp. You got to be careful with them easy woods. Oh well. Bullet may get a little bit of a pre-stain on it. There we go. We'll see how our ½ inch does, and if we need to, we'll go sharpen it up. That should be just about right. We're going to move you guys right about there. John, welcome in. Use a faceplate. I've used them in the past. Now, if I was doing a larger bowl, I would absolutely be using a faceplate. But these little guys, god dang, I'm bleeding everywhere. Well, not really everywhere, but tell you, those little carbides are sharp. There we go. Push Pakmar, welcome in. Milani, welcome in. A bunch of new names tonight. That was me trying to take a massive bite at once. You're not that hungry? Quit taking big bites. And that was me going too far, catching that edge and getting spun right around. I'm wondering, would you guys be able to see better if I did that? That looks a little better. Oh. Okay, that was too much. When the lathe stops, you're trying to take too much. All right, I am going to resharpen here real quick. Y'all hang tight. This does not take long at all. Right there. Turn on the Raycon. There's the left side. Right side. And we're back to work. Let's see how we did. I'd say we did all right. Zwan, welcome in. Moon, how's it going? Thanks for coming in. The run doesn't even begin until blood has been shed. That blood has definitely been shed tonight. All right, all right. Always slow down as you come through the center. There we go. Let's check our depth, see how we're doing. Blue Drago GX, welcome in. Got some interesting names in the chat tonight. All right, we are right about 1.5 inches down. Gives us about 3/4 to the bottom. About another 1/2 inch in depth we can go. This wood feels pretty dry. Maybe not quite. Yeah, we're gonna leave a little bit of thickness on there, so in case it does decide to warp, we can still get it back into shape and end up with a bowl. Actually, there we go. Flattens off the rim. I did that. All right, I think we're gonna leave that right about there. It feels pretty good. Pretty good. We got a little bit of on the edge there. That was my fault. But we're gonna leave it right about that thickness. Like I said, I don't know if this one will warp much. He doesn't feel anywhere near as wet as the last one. But there's still definitely some moisture in him. There we go. Got definitely some real tight, nice grain lines in him. That'll make a nice looking bowl. So to give you guys some quick updates from some of the prior lives, bring those two over here since we've made these tonight. Where am I looking? So for those of you who've been around for a little bit, you'll recognize some of these. Hey Fred, how you doing? I saw you just released a new video. So this is a honey locust little bowl. Went ahead, got it all sanded up, finished. This is the mahogany bowl that we worked on probably 3 weeks ago. All sanded up, got his finish on him. Cherry bowl we got taken care of. And then here's that little hollow form. Wife's been eyeballing this one. She wants me to bring it in already. Now, for funny you mentioned that, Fred. I haven't finished painting the rings. I'm going to paint them a neon green because, I don't know, because I want to. This is that little captive ring glass that we made. I want you to see this. I don't know if you can see that. It's so thin, it's flexing under my grip. So I'm going to have to show that to the Big Mex because I know him and Mike are trying to see how thin they can make something. But I bet that stain may block some of it. Yeah, you can see the light coming through it. So we got that one. And then this is the most recent one. I just did a beeswax finish on this guy. He's some mystery wood from a couple weeks ago. So just a beeswax finish on it, get it taken care of. Like a little jewelry type dish or something that the wife will use. Throw random stuff in. And that takes care of that. What time is it? It is 10:30. We've been going for over an hour. We got our little sycamore bowl. Left him very, very thick because we're expecting a lot of warping on that one as he dries. This one, like I said, I believe is a locust, just how the color pattern is. But he feels pretty wet. This is that, I think it was Mike Stanifer, if you're still in here, that came up with that FOG acronym, F-O-G, found on ground. So that's where that all came from. Quick show you guys. We've got plenty more to play with though, and there's even more over there. So with that being said, gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, do the YouTube stuff, hit the like, hit the subscribe. I'm often out here turning late at night, so if this is something that interests you, yeah, hit the subscribe. Maybe we'll catch you again. So until then, y'all have a good one and take care. All right, bye-bye.